Welcome to DentonRadio.com, powered in part by Classic of Denton. Well, hey everybody, thank you very much for joining us here at DentonRadio.com. We are kicking off what's going to be a series of interviews that we're really excited about. The Denton Black Film Festival is coming up this week, and so we're going to be bringing you all sorts of great interviews from contributors all over the festival. But starting us off, we have got the man, the myth, the legend, the festival director himself, Mr. Harry Eaddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I didn't know I was a legend.
Well, you're very much a legend. Well, give us the rundown. If nobody has heard of the festival before, if they're a first-timer, give us a quick rundown on what to expect this week.
Yeah, sure. So first, thanks for allowing us to participate with the show. So the Denton Black Film Festival has been around 4 years. We're going into our 5th year. Awesome. We're really excited about that. We're anticipating about 6,000 to 8,000 attendees really from all over the country. So really excited about that. We have an amazing opening film, which is called Imitation of Life. It's based on the 1959 version of that film that stars Lana Turner, Sandra Dee, Susan Kolner, and we're celebrating the body of work of Juanita Moore, who played the maid in the movie, and she was one of the first African Americans to ever receive an Academy nomination. Wow! So the exciting thing about that is that her nephew will be here. She died in 2014 at 99 years old of age. She was almost 100. Wow! But her nephew is going to be here, and we'll have never before seen footage of her in an interview. Cool. And then also her nephew is coming, and he's bringing some photos of her when she was younger. But she had a lot of really memorable TV shows and films that most people probably never knew about, including myself. So we're really excited about that. And then at the end, we have Kirk Whalum, who is one of the top, I think, 3 to 4 jazz saxophone players really in the world. That's
so cool.
Yeah, so he's coming to Denton, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah. Well, you guys have got an extremely diverse festival. When people hear, okay, the Denton Black Film Festival, they think, okay, documentary film, which it is, but you guys have got film and music and comedy and just the whole gambit. So give us a few highlights of some of the non-film stuff, and then we'll jump back into the film as well.
Okay. Okay, so with that, you're absolutely right. One of the things that we thought about, probably only about 15 to 20% of the population that I've been able to determine in talking to other film festival directors actually attend film festivals, right? So when we started DBFF, one of the things we talked about is how do we make ourselves attractive to people who are not just into film. Yeah. So we thought about doing art. So we have 2 art exhibits. Cool. So Barbara McCraw is one of the top quilt artists in the world. She has an exhibit at the Greater Denton Arts Council PAC building. Awesome. And that, from what I understand, has been well received. They have sometimes 60 to 80 people going over there per day during the week, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. She did a talk about her quilts. Last week I was there on the 12th, and there were 80-plus people there for that. Wow. Yeah, so really some amazing quotes. And, so that's going on. We also have a fiber artist at UNT on the Square. So we have that going on. One of the things that probably attracts more 35 and under is the spoken word event. Yeah. So we'll have about 250 to 300 people for the spoken word event this year. Very cool. So, we're almost at the max of the spoken word performers, poetry slam performers. So I think we probably need maybe 2 more and we're done in terms of having that. So we'll have an open mic for the first hour, and then we'll take a short break, and then we'll have the poetry slam. Cool. And the winner gets $500, right? Wow. Second place winner gets $250. And that event is really good this year because Whataburger is sponsoring the awards.
Awesome.
Yeah,
very cool.
Good. Yeah, so that's really good.
And all artists have a close connection to Whataburger, so that's
probably true. Yeah. Even non-artists like myself. So we're excited. They're going to have some other gifts for the artists. So, that's a good event. And then beyond that, we have a couple music venues. So there's a group called Fingerprints that will be playing at Dan Silverleaf that Saturday night.
Love
So
Fingerprints.
it's really Fingerprints and their friends. So they're going to have some world-class musicians that are coming that are, really amazing. Bradley Lee will be there. Vocalist Katina Butler will be there. She's in the area. There's a young lady named Dana Harper,
Okay.
who was, I believe, Derek Harper's daughter,
Wow.
who was on The Voice.
Cool.
And so she'll be there performing. She'll have about a 30 minute set at Dan's. So that's good. And then we will close out the festival with Kirk Whalum.
Man.
Yeah.
And that's going to be over on the UNT campus at the Murchison.
Right.
The big armadillo building that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I call
Yeah.
it. So I sometimes say armadillo turtle.
Yeah, right, the turtle.
Right.
Yeah. It's everything with a shell. It works. It's
but we're really excited about that too because it's a collaboration between UNT College of Music and DBFF. And the 1 o'clock lab band will be playing
So cool.
a little bit after 6 o'clock. And then Kirk Whalum is going to play with them for a couple of songs. And then we'll take a break. And then we will Kirk has his own band here. Everybody's flying in, and then they will perform.
Wow.
So, it's good. As I was telling you before, Kirk is really amazing. And I just think for anyone in Denton who loves music, it would be a great opportunity to see him because he's one of the top probably 5, jazz guys in the world, and they're probably going to, be able to see him for, $40.
Yeah.
Because he'll be here, I think Mother's Day, and the tickets are $70.
Okay.
So you get to see a world class guy, dedicated, right, with the 1 o'clock lab band for almost half that price. So
Man,
I think it's
to get to see Kirk and the 1 o'clock lab band in the same show, that's it's gonna be sweet. I mean, if you're a jazz fan at all, this is a cannot miss deal. This
Absolutely.
is too cool. This is really, really cool.
And I think what some people have been doing is they have been trying to get their younger children to attend because they want them to have a greater appreciation of jazz.
Yeah.
And they think that there's not going to be very many opportunities to get a guy like Kirk Whalum here, right, for their kids to see. So we've gotten calls from some of the sororities to see if they can get high school students or their grandchildren in,
Very cool.
or just in the community. So we're excited about that as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and anytime we're talking film festivals, we always it's so cool that you have all these elements because there's so much going on that if somebody's going, I mean, there really is something for everybody. If somebody says, "Man, I don't know. I mean, do I want to sit down and just do serious films or this?" And maybe that's exactly what you want to do. But if it's not, there's also some really funny content, and there's some great content that's just so diverse. And once you try one, then you got to try another, and then you got to try another, and it just pulls you in. And that's always been my experience. Right. And it's just been so it's like Lay's. I mean, you can't stop after one. It's very cool. Yes. So let's talk a little bit more about the film and some of the highlights there, because that's the big grand poobah of it all, which is just too cool.
Yeah. So it's our anchor, and so we'll screen 63 films.
Wow.
From narratives to shorts to documentaries. We have a student screening, so we're pretty excited about that. There's some pretty prolific filmmakers really in the area. Sierra Bonifant, which you may or may not have heard of. She won a contest with Ava DuVernay and also what is her name? Oprah Winfrey.
Oh gosh, that little name.
That little name. So it was a $100,000 competition, right?
Wow.
So against there's 20 people involved. She won, so she'll have at least one film, I think, with us, maybe two. But we have a lot of student filmmakers just in Texas. Cool. They'll be competing. But we have just really an amazing set of films. There's one called Mr. Soul. Which is a great film about a guy who had a variety show in the 60s. That was really good. There's another film, which is a comedy called Bruce is an A-hole. And I've seen many much of the film, but it's really a funny film because we all know people like him.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of guys, and I don't know if there are that many young ladies, but, you know, the kind that we would never introduce our sister to or a friend to. But it's really funny how this guy begins, and, you know, there's some things where he says things that if we have friends like him, they say that we kind of go, oh, man, you know, I'll never introduce you to anybody I know or care for. Right? But, you know, so it's really a good film. And, you know, this guy, the filmmaker's not coming, but one of the lead characters is coming for the film. And then we have a film on human trafficking.
Wow. Called
The Broken Rose. That's here. We have another film, Black, White, and Us, that is about what happens at Myrtle Beach. You know, you have a white motorcycle gang, not gang, but group that comes in and how things look. And then you have a black motorcycle group that comes in and kind of, you know, what the differences are between those. But, you know, just a number of really good films that we think people will resonate with. You know, probably the difference between what we do and, you know, what you see on a commercial circuit, right? You have independent filmmakers who put their blood, sweat, and tears, you know, because you're a musician, right? They put their blood, sweat, and tears into a project, and they want other people to see it. And what we've been able to do is kind of curate really some of the best films, right? And then we brought in a number of invitational films as well that we want people to see.
Very cool.
You know, so I think that's good. The other thing, too, Jake, is we're probably about 30%. We're doing about 30% more than we offered last year, which is one of the reasons why you've seen me, I guess, in the last month, and I've looked like I'm, you know, have very little hair. But part of that has to do with, you know, I just looked up a little over a month ago and realized all the things we're doing.
Yeah.
So last year we may have had 15 to 20 filmmakers here. I just got told by the content director that we're going to have over 50. You know, filmmakers here. So people can come out and get to meet a lot of these filmmakers. And I think that will be, you know, really good. But we're excited about the partnership we have with Alamo Drafthouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the films will be screened at the Alamo Drafthouse and also the campus theater. So I'd say about 60% are at the campus and the other 40% are at Alamo Drafthouse on Saturday and Sunday. And we're only screening at Alamo on Sunday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So very cool. Yeah. Man, you guys have so much going on. It's going to be such an incredible event. If anybody needs to find more information, where are the best resources for them to go?
So they can go to our website. It is www.dentonbff.com.
Perfect.
They can also go to our Facebook page, Denton Black Film Festival. And then, you know, of course, you have literature here. They can come
here at the Welcome Center. Yep.
So a number of places they can probably get literature. The other thing, too, is we're doing a taste of DBFF.
Oh, awesome.
So at the Hickory office building, between 12:30 and 2 o'clock, we're going to have some chefs and caterers in, and they're going to have little samples of their food. Nothing,
cool.
You know, really big, but you know, they'll be able to sample Southern cuisine, Black cuisine. So we're excited about that. About 6 different chefs will be there. We'll have food bloggers there. It's good. Beth Marie has done a flavor for us.
Cool.
So they'll have that flavor there, and they'll debut it there. So we think it's going to be really good. But to your point, there's so many things for people to get involved in. The one thing we have not talked about is the institute. So DBFF, we launched an institute. It was announced about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
So similar to what Sundance has in Tribeca. So for all creatives, not just Black creatives, we're going to have a mechanism for them to network, share their content, because musicians are always looking for filmmakers are always looking for musicians, people are looking to get screenwriters or writers, period. So we want to just put a very large collective together and just say, let's begin to develop work. And so we're trying to do a lot of collaboration with, you know, groups out of Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton, of course, and just say, let's see if we can get it up to, you know, 400 or 500 maybe 1,000 people, right?
Cool.
To be a part of the institute. Yeah,
it's awesome. You guys, so much cool stuff going on. When's the taste of DBFF thing going on?
It is Saturday on the 26th at 12:30 to 2 o'clock.
Oh, it's gonna be so. You got me on food now.
Well, it's good. We've been talking about. There's something called Low Country food.
Okay.
So we're probably, I'm not familiar with that, but we're probably going to do that. It's out of the, what is it? Off of North Carolina and South Carolina.
Okay.
That's a cuisine that they serve there. We have special desserts coming in, so it's really good. But again, they're just samples, right?
Yeah.
For people, and then we're going to pair that with wine. And then so it should be really nice.
Awesome. Yeah. Man, I'm so excited. You've touched every sense in this festival. So it's going to be a really, really good time. Super, super excited. Before we wrap up, is there anything else we need to make sure we touch on?
Well, I would say the only thing is that the festival itself is not just for Black people. The festival is really for anyone. We just share culture.
Yeah.
And what we want people to do is really just come and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think this year is different, not just because it's our 5th year, but because of all the things we're doing. I mean, Kirk Whalum is huge.
That's big.
That's huge, right? So I think it would be nice to see, everybody come out to that, and then to see all the films. But given DBFF, the taste of DBFF and the comedy, we didn't touch on comedy, but it's just so much. Just go to the website and check it out.
And the comedy's really incredible.
Comedy is good. In fact, we have one of the comedians coming back, Piper the comedian.
Okay.
And some people said it was one of the best parts of the festival last year.
Man.
So we're going to try to duplicate that. And
that's what I kept hearing too, is everybody was telling me how great comedy was, and I was like, okay, I gotta check this out.
Yes, it's good. So I think overall, just people coming and enjoying themselves is really what we want to see, and just experience a lot of fun.
So cool, man. It's such a cool festival. You guys have done such a fun thing for Denton. It's a great activity.
Thank you.
For people to be a part of. Guys, it is happening this month, the 23rd through the 27th. If you didn't notice, that's this week. So if you have not cleared your schedules for the Denton Black Film Festival, you really, really need to, because it's going to be a great, great time. Again, check it all out at dentonbff.com, and make sure you stay in tune right here to dentonradio.com. We're going to be bringing you guys a lot of interviews between now and then to get you even more tastes of what's going to be happening for this festival. Thank you very much for being tuned in with us. And Harry, thank you very much for coming by the studio.
My pleasure, and I really do appreciate the invite.
No, big time, man. Cannot wait for this festival.
I know you're excited about the food, right?
Oh, big time, big time. Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out dentonradio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at classicofdenton.com.